The Viking Wars, which took place during the Middle Ages between the 8th and 11th centuries, were part of a historical period known as the Viking Age. These wars resulted from the expansion of the Vikings from the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, into large parts of Europe, including England, France, and Ireland. The Viking Wars began in the late 8th century when they launched attacks on monasteries and coastal cities in Europe. The year 793 is considered the official start of the Viking Age when they attacked the Lindisfarne monastery on the northeastern coast of England. These attacks were marked by brutality as they plundered monasteries rich in gold and treasures, making them a source of terror for the local populations. During the 9th century, Viking strategies evolved from mere quick raids to larger, more organized campaigns. The Vikings led extensive colonial campaigns during this period, such as their settlement in Iceland and Greenland, and even reaching the shores of North America. In England, the Vikings began to build permanent settlements and seize lands. One of the most notable conquests was their occupation of York, which they turned into their operational base in northern England. In France, the Vikings exploited the weakness of central authority and launched raids on Paris. Among the prominent leaders of that time was Rollo, who succeeded in securing a settlement in Normandy in 911 after signing an agreement with King Charles III of France, establishing an independent state under his rule, known as the Duchy of Normandy. Ireland also bore a significant share of the Viking Wars, where they established major settlements like Dublin. For decades, Ireland was affected by their ongoing wars, impacting political stability there. However, the Irish were able at times to deliver strong blows to the Vikings, with one of the most notable victories being the Battle of Clontarf in 1014, led by King Brian Boru, who defeated the Viking army, despite being killed in the battle. Despite their fame as warriors, not all of the Vikings' wars were mere raids and plunder. The Vikings were also skilled traders and brave explorers. They had extensive trade networks extending from the Baltic Sea to the Mediterranean and even the Middle East. They traded furs, timber, metals, and slaves, which helped build their wealth. Ultimately, the Viking Wars began to wane in the 11th century as Viking kingdoms became more stable and transformed into centralized states. Their conversion to Christianity contributed to the end of the Viking Age, as the church played a role in integrating them into the existing European civilizations.